You can spend lots of time getting a shot's colors looking perfect using the Adobe Camera Raw editor, and then if you want to go into a more creative mode, you can come into the main Photoshop editor and create a cross-process color look. Cross-processing is a traditional darkroom technique in which you use the wrong chemicals on print film, the type of chemicals you would have used on slide film, for example, and you get a very strange shift in color hue, and that gives you some very interesting looking and quite arty shots. It's very useful when you're doing fashion shots, for example, to cross-process them. But we'll try that with our nature shot to see what we get. So let's kick off by going to the Layers palette, and let's create a new adjustment layer to boost the colours so we've got something juicy to work with. So go to Hue Saturation to create a Hue Saturation adjustment layer, and then go and increase the saturation of the whole shot to around about 30, and that gives you very vivid colours that we can then work on with our cross-processing technique. And now that we've improved our colours by boosting them, we can then start to tweak their hue using another adjustment layer, and that is going to be in here. It's going to be in levels, and we can actually target the red, green and blue channels independently using this option here. And if we go into red, for example, and start tweaking, you can see that there's strange shifts in the colour. So for red, what we're going to do is have 0 for the shadows. For the midtones, we're going to go to 0.81, so let's just drag that till we get a change there. We get a nice cool looking blue effect in the background there, so around about 0.81 should do the trick. And then for the highlights, what we'll do is we'll set that to about 241 just to tweak that a little bit, like so. So those are our red channels. Let's pop up to greens now and change those values as well. Keep the blacks at 0, but this time 0.96 for midtones. Around about here should do the trick. And for the highlights, let's take that to about 241. And you can see there's a nice change in colour in the background. Then we'll pop over to blues for a final tweak and set shadows at 0, 1.37 for the midtones. You can see the colours changing as I tweak. And that's just working on the blues, of course, and about 239 to boost up the highlights there. So click OK to make the change, and there we have our cross-processed colours. And you can compare the difference by going to turn off the adjustment layers, and you can see the original colours there in the edited shot, and here's our slightly more cross-processed colours with a nice cool blue background and the warm foreground colours. We're not quite finished yet, we need to tweak it a little bit more, and there is another adjustment layer for us. This is called Photo Filter, and it's designed to warm up or cool down colour cast problems caused by incorrect white balance, but we can use it in a more creative way by going all the way down to cyan. Pop that over there for an even cooler and greener looking bluey background. Click OK to make the change. And the cool thing about adjustment layers is you can double click on any of them at any time and then make changes like boosting the density a little bit more to make it slightly stronger on the blue background there. Click OK to make the changes. And if you're happy that you've got the image you want to print, then what you could do is go to Layer and flatten all of those together into the finished version, which you can then of course enhance by sharpening. So if we go to adjust sharpness and then just have a closer look at our creature, if you click, there's the before version, click and hold down the mouse, let go, there's the after. It's slightly sharper using these very subtle settings here, so that gives us a nice sharp print that's going to really stand out from the page. Click OK and you're ready to print.